Feature Friday.
The freshest.
So this is quite an interesting request because from what the comments were saying, this is perhaps one of Sunidhi's most, what would you call it, impressive pieces. We are a sucker for live rather than studio, so that's why I think you also sent us this version. However, we are more than happy to check out also the studio version because I think it also has Sukhvinder Singh. This is a collaborative effort. I apologize if I mispronounce his name, but this is in Indian Idol, and I like a lot about Indian Idol is that they do keep a lot of the raw footage and the raw singing. And given Sunidhi's our interest in Sunidhi lately, let's give it a watch, and hopefully Bala can give us some nice knowledge or something.
Okay, let's have a look.
Or something.
Something. Yeah.
Oh, so she's coming down with all the
Contestants, I think.
That's a lot of people. Hold on a second. Is this just like a party or something? What the fuck?
This freaking show screams 2000s to me.
It's season 3, so maybe it's like 2010,
I don't really know. But
2020.
No, but I think it's obviously been reposted.
You think?
Yeah.
She is the grandmother of Neha Kakkar. Sunidhi is a rock star. What?
What?
Sunidhi is the vocal powerhouse of Bollywood.
The biggest rock star in Indian music.
So I don't know
Okay.
when this was, because this shit feels like 2010. But anyways, go on.
Well, the visuals just scream 2000s at
Yeah.
me. Also, the vibe, the vibe.
Yeah, why is everyone so happy?
Party.
Nice.
Yes. Everybody's having such a good time.
See, that shit's live.
You see, those are very Western influences in the singing phrase, but the beginning of that riffing was so Indian classical like.
I think Sunidhi is probably one of those examples of once you sort of master and you have a style like she does, perhaps doing things where we're a little bit more familiar with in the Western sense just becomes easy as hell when you're from like places like India, because as everything there obviously what would you call it, originates from classical. Learning classical is really, being completely honest, is probably one of the hardest things you can do if you are choosing that path of singing.
Yes.
And then everything else just becomes way easier. So her adaptability, and perhaps that's why people also consider her so versatile at things, is because perhaps she's just been able to do things in a more traditional sense in certain moments, and also more classical, but also more modernistic in a specific way that we're more familiar with outside of sort of the Indian music industry. That's why we've been trying to check out more of her work, because she's very enigmatic to us in that sense. She utilizes techniques that come on here, but that doesn't really happen with other artists.
Correct. I find that she is the perfect fusion in one artist of what you can bring to the table when you have knowledge from the classical Indian music industry and also Western pop idea of music itself, because she applies both of these elements into her artistry quite often. And even though I've read in the comments that you guys told me that she's never actually
Done
classically
classical.
trained
Wow,
herself,
interesting.
but I do think that being exposed to certain ways of singing definitely has an impact. So even though she has learned on the go, based on what you guys have told me, I would say that a lot of the influences from classical music also become ingrained in her.
Here's the other thing.
In her building, in
Here's
her
the other thing,
foundation.
because I think we also get caught up in this all the time. It's like, oh, where did it come from? What technique does she use? What technique does this man use, or this woman, or whatever? At the end of it, who fucking cares? It's just music, right?
Doesn't sound good. It doesn't make an impact. when
Exactly.
you're
Does it sound
performing.
good? Is it emotionally packed? Does it generate anything in you? Does it make your heart resonate? Does it make your body move? That's at the end all that matters. But it's just
Correct.
always interesting to look past the simplicity of things.
I
And
think it's looking past the first veil of performing itself, because she's obviously a performer, and that's a given. But I want to know why does it make me feel the way it does.
yes, go on. I don't recognize many of the other judges. Yeah, she's like a rock star.
She also is very simplistic to her approach to performing.
Very charming woman, though. I wonder what genre this is. It's also intriguing how she demands respect.
I also think
Like she demands it without being like, you know how there's some people that just don't have this aura about them.
Yes.
And then like you feel like if you look at them for too long, like whoa, I'm gonna get my head chopped off.
Yeah.
With her, you don't feel like that, but you feel like she's quite accessible. But at the same time, it's like everyone's like, oh fuck.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
like Sunidhi Chauhan, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
I
damn.
also do think it comes from the ease in which she's able to perform such things, like that understanding of like that comfort and such a under pressure environment becomes kind of like overwhelming for everybody else, but at the same time it's kind of contagious.
Yes.
So it
People
puts
can feed
everyone
off it.
else at ease. But at first impression, yeah, that's the first thing that you would notice. It was like, oh, she's way too comfortable in this environment.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's where it comes from, like that respect that you kind of sense. It's more of like that comfort in such a high pressure environment.
I feel like she's one of those people that it's like they don't talk much about it, they just do it, and they let
Exactly.
their actions sort of speak for themselves.
And it also, it's like, it's so natural. It feels
It's
like,
odd how natural it is for
yeah,
her.
it's so natural that it allows you to enjoy it without even really realizing.
She seems to be a true natural performer. She'll be, I mean, we did see her obviously young. And baby Sunidhi Chauhan is a fucking monster. Dude.
Goated.
If you haven't seen those, Ballet was so kind to compile some of them, and you guys send it to her and stuff. And she is an absolute monster of her when she was a baby. It's like insane.
And it was like, to me, what was really interesting was seeing how accurate the things were and how sustained, because the level of difficulty of the singing phrases were obviously very hard, even for a grown-up to maintain such things. But this child just
I'm
stood
sure Ballet will
there.
put like the video we're talking about here, but it's insane.
This child stood there and just delivered.
Well,
it's fantastic.
Let's perhaps, I think it would be appropriate to check out the original, because
Yes.
I think I like a lot of the little work we check out for Sukhvinder sing. I really enjoy it.
Yes.
So perhaps this will be another one of them, and maybe the video will be really captivating to break down. It seems we got it quite right, the plot with the previous Sunidhi Chauhan composition. So fucking one for the
Let's
team.
go.
Let us know what you guys would like us to check out next, and we absolutely will. Goodbye.
Goodbye.